Closure in JavaScript is a function that remember variables from its lexical scope even after outer function is already executed. So using closure we can create private variables, or we can create multiple function using closure. So I have this code that have secure variable that have 1000 points, and above it's a global variable that anyone can modify this variable from outside or here only. So we have some secure app, and we don't want to user to or any developer to modify this variable value, on 10,000 point user some get some free gifts, and if anyone can modify this global variable, then everyone can get free gifts for unlimited time. So we can create some kind of secure variable inside this function using closure concept, so no one can modify this variable from outside this function. We can only modify this variable value. We can mutate this mutate not mutate we can update this value using only this function that we are returning from this function. So what closure definition say is closure in closure function that remember variable this variable from its lexical scope even after this outer function is already executed. So this function will remember this variable value even after this outer function is done and removed from call stack. So we know that whenever function is removed from call stack, it will also remove that variable from its scope. But here what happen is it will form a closure of that variable by this function increase point, and it will remember this variable, and it will create private variable so no one can modify. Only this function call will increase that point. So if I so what will happen is we are returning this increase point function from this function that will be stored inside this increase point. So we can call this increase point function, so it will increase that secure variable value by 1 every time we call that function. So if I call this function one time, it will increase points to 1001. If I call again, it will increase by 1 also, like 1002. So let me log. As you can see, so we cannot directly here we cannot directly modify or change this value directly outside from function. We can uh, change this value using only that function. So this is how we can use closure concept for creating this kind of private variable. It will increase 3 times. So this is how we can create private variable. Next what we can do is we can, using closure concept, we can create multiple function using one function. We can do currency converter function, like currency converter. Let me comment this. We can do function currency my spelling will be wrong, I think. Currency converter. Then I can do a return one function that would be converter. I am not good at naming the function, so I can change the name in future. So what we can do is we can create dollar to INR currency converter here, const. Then we can do INR or dollar to INR. We can do dollar to Indian currency. So this function will return this function, that will be this, and we can do currency converter currency. What will be currency value? Currency value. And here what we can do is we can add currency, we can do amount. So we can add here amount, that will be $51. How much it should be in Indian rupees? So we can use dollar to INR. Oh, how much? $1 is 85 rupees. Then we can return that amount multiply by currency value, so it will return that in Indian rupees. We can log this here. This is dollar to INR. Dollar. So how much? $51 into Indian rupees. Let me log. So it will be 43.63 rupees. I can do 51. As you can see, it's same. Decimal is little different, but this will be same. So this is working. 43.63. We can also do INR to dollar. So we can create multiple, we can create all kind of all country currency we can convert using this closure function, INR to dollar. We can do here what will be the 1 rupee in dollar. 1 rupee in dollar is 0.12. Can pass INR to dollar. We can use INR to dollar. So it so let me do 100 rupees. So how much? 100 rupees in dollar. We can see log, that would be $1.2. So if I put 100 rupees here, it should show 1.2. so little different here. Maybe it's use some dot to fix inside that, but it is working right now. It's using kind of what we call, it will use to fixed or something like that. For that, dot to fixed, if we use dot to fixed, that will be 2. Now let's see. So it's showing 1.2 and 1.20 and 43, 63, 56 for 51. So let me do 51. So I think it's using some method here, that why it's kind of round up that value. Let me do again some more convert, like Japanese currency. Let me do euro to Indian rupees. Where is rupees? Euro to rupees, or INR. Euro to, let me do INR. So 1 euro is 92.54 euro to INR. Can do euro to INR. So if I do 12 euro to INR, so if I do 12 euro, it should calculated in Indian rupees, that will be 1110 rupees. So let me create 1110 rupees. So if I do 12, as you can see, 1110 rupees, it's working. So using closure we can create, as you can see, we create 3 function. We can create unlimited function, like 100 200 function for creating converse using this one function only, using closure. And also we create private variable like this using closure. So this is a basic use of closure. So thank you.